Hi everybody, I'm Mphela, entertainment commentator.
You're not going to tell the other part.
Hi, I'm Mphela, the only entertainment commentator in South Africa. Check that.
The only one, the OG, others keep a fake.
And I'm Moyin, Oloruntoba, and we are going to be having a conversation about the state of the entertainment industry in South Africa.
In the hat in front of you, we have a few topics and pieces of paper. Run through it, and then we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
Should I go first?
Yes.
Alright! This says brands undervaluing creatives, e.g. exposure and pay. Okay, this is a very personal one. I just tweeted about it, I think yesterday. The fact that it's going to take a very long time for brands in South Africa to respect creatives. And simply because we as creatives also have gotten to a point where we are so complacent about it. Mm-hmm. We are okay with being treated the way that we're being treated, and we're not honest with each other. So I think this one is gonna get us into a bit of trouble.
I low-key feel like it's not the brand's fault.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the creators. Like, y'all need to do your research and know what the standard is and not go below that.
No, but I think there's a certain responsibility that the brands have to carry as well. I mean, like if you are a brand and you are sending an offer to fill of say 2,500 rand for a full week campaign, when my rent card says my one tweet costs 3 times more than that.
But the thing is that the reason why they continue to do that is because there's somebody else who will take it.
Yeah, and that's why their campaigns are whack.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's why you don't see the synergy anymore in these influencer campaigns. That's why you'll be looking at a campaign and thinking, how did these people get to be chosen for this? It means the people that were connected to the brand and the brand messaging did not get the money that they were looking for, so they just went out and got somebody else. Okay?
Hey, this video's gonna be lit. Alright, so this one says the takeover of YouTube and social media in South Africa.
Yeah.
Is there a takeover?
I don't think so. You see, here's the reality of South Africa that people don't understand. South Africa is not like the US and the UK. The reality is mainstream in South Africa is still very, very, very powerful. Like I hear people saying that, oh, magazines are dying. No, they might not be putting the numbers that they were pulling 4 or 5 years ago, but it's gonna take a long time until we get to a point where people only go on social media or on the internet to get news.
Yeah. I don't think that there's a takeover. I think there's not a lot of money being invested into digital for it to be a takeover. So I think that there's a long way to go before we get anywhere close to like the US or the UK that is actually something substantial. I don't think we're there yet.
But you know what I think new media is doing that is influencing the culture is that they're influencing the content of the mainstream media, because what you see right now is there's no distinction now between a tabloid and a real entertainment. You know, like you don't know, it's just I love a real entertainment news or is it Sunday World? You know, that distinction doesn't exist anymore. And because of that, I think new media has a lot to do with it. I think because they're trying to compete with new media, they tend to be all woke and all.
Yeah, I mean it's sad in a way because there's each platform should have its own defining thing, right? You should know that here I'm going for the hardcore. So even if you have like tabloids who are maybe making up whatever, you should have a publication who's actually verifying that they're doing the research.
Yeah.
If that's their platform where they're like, we're not tabloidy, but we will do the research to find out if it's properly, if it's true, if it's not. Like I think this is also.
But what I find funny though is like, ask any journalist in the industry or anybody who's working in the industry and they will tell you that yes, there is a definite sway and change in how content is created and where people are going to consume that content. But what amazes me is that they're not willing to give these digital creative some respect. You know, the only time Moyin is gonna get a respect is if you are friends with a celebrity or you are in that celebrity class, and that bothers me because we overlook a lot of what I would see as innovation in entertainment and in the creative space, with YouTubers doing things that we wish people on TV could be doing, but they're not doing. Just that. So how about our industry now start highlighting those people and saying, hey, you know what, you guys are complaining about what's happening on TV. Guess what? These guys are doing this on YouTube.
Thank you. And don't copy us.
That's the thing.
Don't copy us. Invite us to be part of what you want to create.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I've had people copy and that's how we're going to go to the next.
Hey, that's my turn. Pretty privilege. louder to guys.
No, it's a real thing. Nah, it's a real thing.
Is it really?
Oh, yes. I've used
But
it
isn't
in my
life?
life.
Isn't that part a life thing instead of an industry thing?
No, it's life.
Yeah, it's a life thing because
I used to work for a marketing agency. I was a strategist,
Yeah.
and I've had the boss literally say that he chose. There were two people,
Yeah.
similar qualifications and experience. He chose the one that was prettier.
Okay, good. Look, maybe there's a guy thing in me, and guys don't shoot me on this, but I think sometimes we get too oversensitive about stuff like that. Here's the thing: if I've got a brand that has to project a certain image and a certain outlook or a certain veneer to my consumers, of course I'm gonna judge people based on their looks when I hire them. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's just the reality of the world that we live in.
It's the
And
first
we
thing
need
you see.
we need to be able to acknowledge that. And in terms of our industry, look, here's my thing, okay? Talent will always stay the course more than anything else. Understand? They can hire all the pretty people that they want, but guess what? We'll still be here. You know, like
It's a privilege.
I didn't say the name.
Yay. I was like, let me just continue this conversation to another side. It's a real privilege. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just anyone who's hiring. You need to do your due diligence to make sure this person can actually do the job. As long as somebody can do the job and they're hired based off the fact that they're the best candidate, the fact that they're pretty cool, but there's no denying that pretty is a privilege.
All right.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. This is gaps in the industry that need to be filled.
Gaps. I think we need more.
Fresh faces?
No, man. Don't go there. I think we need more people like our legend. Legend Mangele, we need more people like that in the industry because I feel like our industry has been run by old people.
Yes.
People who are commissioning shows, like people who don't know anything about what's happening out there in the world.
Yes.
You'll find in certain companies or broadcasters where somebody who knows nothing about sports will be the commissioning editor for sports.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
But I don't think that they're going to move from anywhere where they are, and that's why people like me started our own channels.
Yeah.
Because the reality is they're very comfortable. If somebody is like, look, I'm earning like 500,000 a month, now you want to tell me to move from where?
Well, they're not going to move themselves.
No, I know.
But
But what I
investors,
mean-
money needs to move them.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I
Because
definitely agree
board of
with that.
directors of these companies, whatever, they are the ones, whether you want to stay there or not.
But you see, I don't think it's going to happen in the sense that it's going to be those spaces. I think people have to create the spaces that will rival those spaces.
Yeah, I think in terms of new talent and exploring new avenues, in terms of content creating, I think
When
the
I
conversation-
mean new faces, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily mean new faces like TV presenter, whatever.
or actors or whatever. Yeah,
No.
because that's why I was
Yeah,
headed
no, like-
with my little, smart little
ready to
rants.
go.
There's that side that you need to fix this side first before we get to that.
No, I just mean new faces in the sense that people who are fresh ideas, fresh talents, fresh drive to create things. I think Legend is a great example. Legend, though, if you follow his kind of experience, has been in the game for a bit, which is great. And I think that he's obviously had people, he's surrounded himself with people who can help him build
Look,
it up.
new doesn't have to mean inexperienced.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
New is saying new in a position of decision making and a position of actually having a say in this
And
content.
being able to still please do the job.
Yeah. Okay. This one says personal struggles within the entertainment industry as a black creative. Okay. Look. I'm gonna be personal. I'm gonna be very controversial about this. Here's my thing. I think I get a lot more flag and a lot more door shut on my face from the black side of the entertainment industry than the white side.
Where's the white side even talking?
Do you understand? Because here's my reality. My reality is, especially here in Joburg, I don't know how it is for you guys in Cape Town. Here in Joburg, there are little cliques that are formed within the industry, right?
Yeah.
And there's these people who believe in themselves that people have to go through them to have careers. You know what I mean? Gatekeepers of sort, yes. So if you're not falling into that clique, if you're not sucking up to that clique and whatever, and you make it on your own, there's almost that element of, who does he think he is? Who do you think you are? How dare you think that you can come into this space and actually be something without us approving you to be that thing? And I've seen that affect people, and I've seen, Lerato Kganyago suffered that mercilessly at the beginning of her career.
Yeah.
You know, like they were very vicious towards her, but she stayed the course. But a lot of people, we don't know about them because they've probably never made it. You know, went through that and couldn't take it. I don't give a, you know, because like, you know, I'm living. Hey, you hate me, not hate me. My rates are going up, my, you know, impression is up.
All about
So personal struggles.
Personal struggles. I think because I've always been a go-getter. The fact that you said no for me is not a big. It's not a big deal. I just had to find a way to create myself. So personal struggles for me, honestly, as a black creative, is having the resources to create what I wanted to create. Because somebody telling me no really didn't stop. I didn't see that as the end of the line. I just had to now find resources to be able to create the kind of whatever I wanted to create.
But don't you find that when it's a black person that's giving you those resources, there's just that certain element. I find that every time when a black person gives me an opportunity, it's very different when it's coming for me. I don't know about you.
I need to watch my words. I'm trying to think of someone who's given me that opportunity.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I have to be honest, like YouTube was the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then as it grew, then people are like, they'll then want to connect and do stuff because there's a platform that has an audience, it has this. So I don't think it was somebody who was like, here's a platform.
But are those connections, because there's a difference between connections that are not helping you financially, because you know we're talking about exposure earlier on, and there are connections that are about empowering you to make money. You know, because I find that a lot of the time in our industry, people will want to connect, but not in a way that gives you resources, not in a way that empowers you to make money in that moment. It's, you know, it's like, let me get what you've got and give you my platform. You know, it's like, why can't you just give me your platform and still pay me?
I think I just had the craziest experiences because when it came to, for example, money in the bank, right? For me, if I had to find out, okay, cool, who was the person who hired me? There was always an A1 fan. It was always, my viewers get me paid. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, these are people who are like, I'm like, I have a meeting with someone. Oh, how? One of their staff loves watching the A1, loves watching this. Just like, look, they put me on. And I think that's been my experience more than any. So personal struggles, it's for me, honestly, it's been resources, but I think also because of the way I see things. Because if somebody just acts like that, I just look at you and I'm just like, oh, okay.
But you know what, you just threw a little gem in there that people need to know at home. When you say that it's your true fans who are giving you those opportunities by recommending you to other people, that is it right there. Because people are so consumed with trying to build a following, with trying to trend. Here's the reality: you can trend and not make anything, make a living out of that. It's the people that actually care about your content. It's people that are actually invested in consuming your content that actually matter.
And I think that's why for me, having that name to approve me never mattered. Because my first TV appearance was because a fan was like, you need to be part of this. First money coming in was like, I watched this. They would tell me the show, they would tell me what I last said. They would literally, and because the age group of the people that watch my stuff is 18 to 35. So once you reach out of varsity, you're probably in a space where you can recommend or say something. And then I come in and close the deal, and it makes me work even harder because how you put out your neck for me, and I appreciate that.
Your fan base has sort of like become like a family in a way.
I call them the A1. I literally call them the A1 fan.
Talent versus skill. Okay, here's the thing.
Talent versus skill.
Yes.
But can't they be?
Let me tell you a little story.
Don't go under the
no, there's another camera there. You know, I got my own little. I think about 3 or 4 or 5 seasons ago of Idols, right? Spoken Kuma's daughter auditions for the show, right?
Yeah.
She came on stage and she belted and gave this, you know, what I thought was a beautiful performance. Right? And then after the performance, and then, you know, they gave me a little comment, and Rendell said, you studied music, right? So I don't know if he knew who she was or anything like that, but he's like, you studied music, right? And the girl's like, yes, I studied music at whatever university that she was at. And it was like, I could tell. The reason why I'm telling this story is sometimes you can have the skill without the talent.
Got you.
And we see this a lot in our industry right now, with people complaining about opening up the industry and all of that. People just think, just because I went to AFDA to go study this, I deserve to be on these shows. Honey, what if you're not talented? No, let's just be
I know
honest.
what you mean. I get what you mean. I guess having the ability to do it doesn't necessarily mean that that's your forte.
Exactly.
So I completely get it. And I think actually now that you say it and now that you put it that way, we see a lot of that in our industry.
Exactly. And sometimes it's okay. You know, like Pelicabiana just posted something yesterday or the day before that about the fact that people are afraid to approach her because they think that she already has the money or she already has got it. And that kind of honesty is what I've been yearning for in the industry. I'm like, oh, do you know that when you are honest with people, when you are honest with your people will support you through and through. Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously, when you're honest and say, people, I'm not getting paid, I need to get paid, you know, they will support you and make sure that you are getting paid. And I appreciate it. So even with skill and talent, like if somebody says, you know what, you're not that good on this, you know, instead of me getting all upset and calling your mamas what, how about I go and hone my skill?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't believe in people telling people what to do and what not to do with their careers.
Yes.
That's why it bothered me when people were like, what is what's his name? The muscle boy from Cinema Tunes. What is Lungashabala doing on the river? Blah 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 blah. Who are you to tell anybody that they should not explore certain opportunities that are presented to them, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, when you are on that side as like maybe a Lungashabala or whatever, and you hear this, don't get so cocky and whatever. You take it in and you find ways of honing your skill because you are blessed to be given an opportunity to do something that clearly people think that you're not good at.
Yeah. I mean, I think in South Africa, the word no, risk, and like any commentary that isn't favorable is seen very.
Tell me about it.
You know, obviously there's like ways to do it and all of that, right? But like, they really come for you. Like,
no, like seriously, like here's the thing. I mean, I watched the film Monday. I love the person who started this film. I love it to bits. I love it. But the film was horrid. It was horrible. It's a terrible film. But guess what? Nobody will be able to review it honestly and say that this is a bad film simply because people are trying to be, you know, ingratiate themselves and shit like that. Let me give you another example before you come. My daughter, for instance, right? All the articles that are coming out are saying that, oh my god, this film is doing great at that thing. It's blowing up the box office, whatever. That is factually untrue because if you look at the numbers are saying that for a film, a black film, let's forget about the Baloyi and Schuster, whatever, for a black film to have really made it, you need to at least be at the 14, 16 million. My daughter's sitting on 5 million right now and they're already writing these articles, right? But now if I'm Phil and I'm coming in and say, guys, hold up.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it's doing great for its numbers and where it is right now, but it's not at that level where you could be calling it a blockbuster.
I think people are very.
I'm a hater.
I think people are very, like, publications, for example, are very quick to want to create the headline. Like there's certain publications, especially because I do entertainment report, right? I'll tell about it. Yeah. I'll look at the headline and be like, oh, I go into it and it doesn't work. And I think just guys.
No, but look, we just need to be honest.
Yes.
And being honest will not win you a lot of cool friends on Instagram. I mean, like, they hate me, honey, but I'm making money. I'm making a living. Do you know what I mean? No, seriously, because like being hated on Twitter by people who, in reality, are not even spending money.
I think let's put it this way. Being hated for standing on your beliefs, standing on what, like, right, doing your job well, and doing it out of a good heart, then everything else really doesn't matter. Because people can easily attach things to you. Like, we have the best and worst on the A1, right? And we talk about red carpets. Now, I actually haven't put up one this year because it got a lot of people speaking badly about the people who were part of it. Yeah. And what they don't know is that I would choose people who are fans of the actual celebrities.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of Boyti, for example, and you are a fan, you want her to come and slay, right? Yeah. And then you see something, you're just like, I think maybe if I should have put up, you will see them like, guys, but I know. And, and I think a lot of people think, they're just hating now, or whatever. And so I think it's how you do it. I think it's the way you do it and the heart you do it from, that hopefully it's a good heart. But I do think that SA needs to get a bit stronger in terms of hearing constructive, not hate, but constructive critics.
Okay, the gender and racial pay gap in the entertainment industry. Maybe you can speak to that.
I don't think I
You see, the thing is that it's very difficult to answer this question, for instance, because we are not honest in our industry.
Yeah.
Like, people will not tell you how much they are earning. People would rather pretend to be making money and earning a lot of money when they are not. So how do you even know that there's a the discrepancy between the two if people are not honest about the industry?
I agree. I don't think there's even as much facts or as much. If somebody said maybe the gender gap or payment gap or whatever between presenters and executive producers or production houses, then we have a conversation.
No, yes, absolutely. Yeah, producers are living. Hey, producers in South Africa are balling.
And they're paying people peanuts compared to what production houses are earning. So that's why I was like, I told somebody recently, I'm like, no, I don't want to be a presenter.
Yeah.
I would rather be the executive producer and get my coins, but not a
Okay, so the racial one, look, I've only witnessed it one time. I know for a fact because I was part of an influencer campaign, and I found out that the white person that was in the group with us was actually getting paid more than we were, and it didn't make sense because this was a campaign that was very geared towards a black audience. And yes, look, this person is cool within the black space as well. He's got black followers, but it just didn't make sense. And with that thinking of every time when certain people would call, they would want you to negotiate your fee, and you have to wonder that if they're already paying somebody this much money and they offered us this much, which they had to negotiate us too. Are we bad negotiators? White people are better negotiators.
Because I also feel like to some degree there's that, right? To some degree, it's really what you negotiate. Like anyone who's worked with influencers and that industry and agencies, you know that for the most part they will say things like, "Oh, how much do you want to get paid?" Not that. What's your budget? Like, what do you pay? And I think that there's an art to it, and so yes, I guess maybe the Caucasians have had a bit more experience, but I think sometimes also with
No, I don't think it's experience. I think they're respected more. I think they're respected more. I think they're respected more. Trust me.
Okay, yeah, cool. They could be respected more, but if I come from a household, of this is the bar, right?
Oh, okay.
I've learned that from my brothers, my sisters, from my mother. For me, or not necessarily me, but for somebody as the first black person to be in this, you have to learn those skills, so you'll probably get burnt a number of times. Like I did. You start accepting things, and you hear, what? This person got paid. What? And I have more than Every time I hear that, my feet goes up.
No, but the good thing is that he didn't deliver, so they called me back to do another campaign.
Alright, this is the last one. Woo! Open at the industry! Yup!
Okay. You've seen my post on Twitter. I do not believe in opening up the industry because I believe that the conversation is starting from an ill-informed point, because open up the industry. I mean, of course, now people are probably saying, no, we're not only talking about people on TV, we're talking about people behind the scenes, whatever. But let's just be real, okay? Open up the industry was primarily for the faces that people are seeing on screen. Now, let's judge it on that, right? Here's the reality, okay? And I've said this many a time. At any given week, if you dedicated yourself to watch TV, don't even go fancy and go to DSTV, SABC 1, Welfare TV, SABC 1, 2, 3, and ETV, right? If you dedicate yourself to watch these shows, believe you me, I can bet my entire career on this. There are more than 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 faces that you're gonna see on prime time that you've never seen before, that you've never heard of before. The problem is our media is fixated with promoting the careers of a selected few. Do you understand? These 5 girls and 1 gay boy. Do you know what I mean? That's where I think. Listen, people are on a roll here.
Keep going. Don't stop.
The industry, especially the media industry, is fixated with the careers of these few people. So that gives the impression that they are the only ones who are making it in the industry. Do you understand? There are lots of people who are working in the industry. There are many opportunities that have opened up in the industry, but we are not highlighting them. We're not showing people what these people are doing. So people assume that these people are not doing anything.
Like?
Lemukhang. I always go back to that point. Lemogantsipa has an international roster that will rival Charlize Theron. That boy has done so many international shows. That boy is on Istembisa, which is popular. That boy had a movie that grossed over 8 million rand that he was a lead on. That boy was one of the first faces, the first South African faces on Netflix, on Troy. Do you understand? That boy has starred opposite the likes of what's this guy? Idris Elba in that Dark Tower movie. He has starred. Now he's in a movie called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, which is a movie that is directed by Chiwetel Ejiofor, whatever his name is. Do you understand? This boy has a resume that is so impressive. But nobody's paying attention to him.
Okay, so I have, because essentially I'm media, right? Like we're media, right? In that sense, I can only really sell what you give me to sell.
Fair enough.
So if you don't tell me, if you don't do, now tell me doesn't mean tell me. Tell me means do the photo shoots that are necessary for it. Do the press release that are necessary for it. Hire a PR person, hire whoever the team is to get the word out. I'll give an example.
Which is what these girls are doing.
These girls are doing. Guys, you gotta give it to Boyti.
Yeah.
Like, she's everywhere. That team is working. Whether you believe in the skill or not.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So now, in that sense, I feel like, yes. You actually have, as the individual who have taken the time to invest in their team, who go out, and that's why you might necessarily have those faces that are seen all the time, because their team, there's a whole team behind them. So that's the one side. But I personally, because this was a recent thing, right? And some celebrities were very vocal that you have to go through the same things I go through. I'm not going to open up the industry for you. And I don't think that's the best mentality to have.
Okay.
I feel like any person who is great at what they do, they become great at it, yes. But then they lend a hand back.
But don't you think that the reaction of these celebrities was a reaction to what they were getting? Because people are calling them out for why is so getting
I
less?
agree.
I agree.
So it's not that's the celebrity life in general. You know that as a celebrity, you might be getting a ton of heat, a ton of what, but it's your job to try and handle, or your team's job to try and handle that to the best of your abilities. Because I would say this for a fact: if everybody is poking you, no one's going to say anything. The second you poke back, it's headline.
Yeah, I know, you're giving it credence.
Exactly, it's headline. So I really would love for people to rather say, you know what, I've been a great presenter, I've had amazing opportunities, I might not have had the money because this industry is a bit messed up, but I'm gonna try and put some things in place so the next person behind me doesn't necessarily have to have all the struggles that I've had.
If you're sitting at home complaining about opening up the industry, oh my God, I want to get in. Look at what people are creating, their own platforms to put their own content out there and grow from that. So if you are waiting for some producer to come and discover you, you might just be waiting for a very long.
I agree. That's a part of opening up the industry now. I would never support. Nothing. No one's gonna do nothing for you.
Last words.
Last words. I think there's a lot of room for growth in this industry. I think it just requires a lot more people to take some risks. Take some risks as an actor. Like the Fergusons, perfect example. They were actors and they could have stayed great actors, but they decided to put on a producer hat. They decided to have, to start a company, and those are the things that I really would love to see. We have great presenters. Cool, that can't just be it. Like, what's the next step that is actually building your legacy, that's building for others, and I would love to see that more in our industry, and there's lots of room to do so.
So mine is just simple as try and create your own opportunities if opportunities are not afforded to you, and run your own race. I always say, just because somebody got there before you doesn't mean that they're going to stay there longer or make more money than you.
True. So what are your social media handles?
I should be asking you because you got the personal one and the channel one. Which ones are you doing? Do all of them, darling. Go.
So firstly, follow me on YouTube. Follow the A1. My channel is called the A1. YouTube.com/the A1TV. On social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at the A1TV. And you want to follow me, it's The Real Moyin. Moyin.
I'm at Mphela everywhere. Just look for at Mphela. Better yet, Google me.
Even on a TV show?
Yeah, Google me. One TV show. Google me.
A few moments later.